This was a difficult quarter for Sappi. A number of our key product categories were under pressure. Firstly, our largest segment, dissolving pulp, we saw prices decline significantly. In fact, it wasn't unique to the quarter itself. We've seen them come progressively downwards over the course of the last 6 months. The reason for the drop is primarily because of additional viscose capacity that's come on board in the last year. And then unfortunately at the same time, our graphic paper markets, both in the US and in Europe, were under pressure. We saw declines in Europe of about 10% and in the US 15%. Because of that softness in the market, we had to take production downtime. We took about 89,000 tonnes during the quarter across the two regions. And unfortunately, you carry the fixed costs, so the impact of taking that downtime flows all the way through to the bottom line. And then at the same time, our packaging business, which is growing, unfortunately, in Europe, we saw a patchy performance. Some of the packaging grades did okay, but consumer categories were under pressure because of the weak economic environment in Europe. In spite of the fact that we have had a difficult quarter, our strategy still remains intact. It's still the right thing to do, and it's predominantly built around growing our capacity in higher margin growth segments. Our traditional business of graphic paper has been in decline for some time. We were heavily exposed to that market, and what we've been going through over the last few years is a process of converting capacity and investing for growth in these other segments. That will allow us to diversify our business and ultimately grow our profitability. Despite the difficulties that we faced, we were able to grow volumes both in dissolving pulp and on the packaging side. And that's further affirmation that our strategy is the right one. In the last 2 years, we have converted mills in Somerset in the US and at Maastricht in Europe. And at the same time, on dissolving pulp, we have grown capacity at our 3 major mills. All of those have gone well and successfully, and we will continue to ramp up volumes as we move forward. Dissolving pulp is a very attractive category for us because we are the market leaders, we're amongst the lowest cost producers, and we have long established relationship with our customers. The market continues to be good and is rising at 5 or 6% per annum, and it is an area where we will continue to invest as we move forward. One of the exciting opportunities we have on the packaging front is the global trend towards replacing plastics with paper-based packaging solutions. And we have been making investments in this area, and we continue to grow, and there is significant appetite from our customers to grow volumes as we move forward. Very excited to say that we have acquired the Matane mill in Canada today. It's aligned with our strategy and predominantly related to the growth of our packaging business. The reason we acquired the mill is firstly it improves our pulp integration. This is a stated objective that we've talked about many times, and it will ultimately lower our cost base both in Europe and in the US. At the same time, it gives us, reduces the volatility of our costs as we move through the pulp cycle. And finally, and very importantly, it gives us certainty of pulp supply. I expect that our capex levels over the course of the next 2 years will come down. We do have a major project underway at the moment at our Saiko mill in South Africa to boost our dissolving pulp production by 110,000. That should be completed in 2020. Beyond that, we have not made any major commitments for capex. Therefore, I would expect in 2020 it will come down from 2019, and then a further decline in 2021. Our priorities over the next 2 years will be to bed down all the major projects that we have undertaken in the last couple of years. That includes the expansions that we've made in dissolving pulp, the conversions from graphic paper to packaging and specialities. Last year we had the acquisition of Calm, and that's gone very well. And now, obviously, with the announcement of Matane pulp mill, which we acquired today. All of that needs to be bedded down, and that will be the focus of our attention. And another reason why our capex levels will come down over the next 2 years.